Hello everyone, my name is SwingPoynt and welcome to Resident Evil Resistance. This is the multiplayer game bundled with Resident Evil 3. And today we're going to talk about Spencer. In our last video we talked about Spencer, talking about how to counter this trend that I've been seeing. I feel like the only thing I have been seeing lately out of Spencer is this idea of having a lot of IVs on the field and having thick cores at the end of the game. I asked you guys in the comments if you'd like me to take a shot at it, kind of reverse engineer that idea and turn it into something that makes sense in my brain. So I went ahead and I did that. So we're going to talk about that kind of build today, and we're going to talk about why we do what we do. That's always the point of these videos. It's not just here's a build, here you go. It's why we do what we do. So let's go into Spencer here, and we're going to go through his skills, we're going to go through his equipment, and we're going to go through the deck. This build is going to be very familiar in a sense of Supercore Spencer. I did a Supercore Spencer forever ago, back when the game was much different. The idea back then was to make it so your biocores have a ton of health. Back then, biocores had a base health of 16,000 per biocore. And then with supercores, you got it up to 46,000. So, as you can imagine, that would really mess with the survivors at the end of the game. This build is going to do a similar thing by boosting up the biocore health a lot. Okay? So, you're going to get that insurance policy in Area 3, except I kind of feel like it's better now because of some of the things that make it harder to deal with for survivors. All right? So for the first skill here, let's work our way down. We're going to run Refract on our disintegration field, our D field, because I just like it more than the other two. I think it's harder to deal with because it's so fast, and it's really good at taking out Valerie. If you can take out Valerie, oh boy, things really snowball when you're playing a Spencer. For this first skill here, for the first passive skill, we're going to run Defense System. And before I talk about why we run Defense System, let's talk about the second skill, Battery. Battery is the whole point of this deck. Spencer, I said forever ago, is a bioenergy guy. So every single one of these variations here is a bioenergy skill. The reason why we're going to pick Battery for this is because we're trying to get out those IVs. Recharge has too many limitations in my opinion. There's too often a time where you're not going to have something to easily farm bioenergy off of. Too many maps put you in a bad spot. Symbiosis doesn't work very well with the IVs. It doesn't complement it very well. However, Battery works great with it. Reason being is because the IVs are a mod card. So Battery increases the bioenergy cap by 10. So instead of having 10 bioenergy, he's going to have 20. And then each mod card in the hand is also going to speed up your bioenergy recharge. So as you can imagine, when we get to the deck, we're going to have a lot of mods in our hand. All right, we're going to have a lot of mods in our deck. So to go back to why we're doing Defense System, reason why we're doing Defense System and the reason why I wanted to make that point was because if you're thinking mods, you might just go straight to mod efficiency. We're not going to do that because it's not worth what you give up. Mod efficiency reduces mod card cost by 3 and also spawns a camera shield for 1 second when a mod card's used. It's not worth the mod cards being reduced by 3. Your IVs aren't really going to get out any faster, and you're going to give up way too much at the end of the game by getting rid of that biocore health. It's just too much of a sacrifice. It is, honestly, it's 3 points. You could spend those 3 points because you're going to be getting so much bioenergy anyway. You're going to get so much more time at the end of the game to work with and whittle down the survivors if you have extra biocore health. So we're going Defense System, and it's not even a question because it's so much better for this build. Okay? For the Area 2 skill, we're going to run Invulnerability Anchor. Invulnerability Anchor is very hard to deal with for a lot of teams, and it makes your IVs even more hard to deal with. And then if you look at the other two options, they just ruin your economy, so they're not worth it. They don't complement you at all. For Area 3, we're going to run Hypercharge. Reason being is we're already going to have 3 mods in our deck, so having a 4th mod is just kind of redundant and in the way and isn't going to help you, especially since Hypercharge helps out your economy anyway. Okay? So let's go on to the equipment here, and then we'll talk about the deck. The equipment here, again, it's a bioenergy deck. The whole point of this deck is to produce a lot so that the survivors have to deal with a lot. And you know what? Let them farm some time. But your job is to go ahead and make them drain resources. This game, I keep saying it in these videos, is an economy game. If you can go ahead and break their economy, you're going to win. So let's work on breaking the economy. We're going to get bioenergy recharge speed with Miniature Reactor. We're going to run Unstable Generator for more speed on your bioenergy, and then also some biocore durability. And then we're going to run Bulletproof Glass 3 for even more biocore health. And then we're going to run Fresh Blood 3 because we're going to have a bunch of bitey creatures. And Fresh Blood 3 is going to make it so you get way more time off and you're going to do way more damage over time. So this is going to be the thing you love, especially when you consider we're going to have Energy Leech in the deck anyway. So now onto the deck. The deck's going to have a lot of mods in it, right? Because we're running Battery. Battery benefits from the more mods that are in your hand. So let's talk about why we chose the mods that we chose, because look, there's a bunch of them. So let's start from the left and go to the right. Generator mod small. The reason why we're doing generator mod small is to go with the theme of bioenergy. This card, just by being in your hand, because it's a mod, is going to increase your bioenergy rate because of battery. But on top of that, it also provides extra bioenergy just because that's the effect of this particular mod. So it kind of doubles up, which is really cool. For the second mod here, we're going to run efficiency mod creatures because this is going to make our creatures cheaper. And even though we want to spend a lot to get more IVs out, you don't want to torch your economy because the IVs are a great complement in the deck, but they are not the sole driver of the deck. These creatures are going to be what do a lot of the work for you because the point of this deck is to drain their resources and to overwhelm them with your vast amount of resources, aka bioenergy. So we're going to be spawning a lot of creatures very often, and that'll cause a lot of IVs to show up. But again, it's about getting a lot of creatures out. Let's talk about the final mod here, and then we'll talk about the rest of this. The final mod is going to be Converter mod creatures. Reason why we run this one is because this is the card that produces IVs. Anytime you actually spend this mod, it puts an IV in your hand. The cost of this card by default is 18. Anytime you spend bioenergy on a creature, it'll reduce the cost of this card by how much you spent. So if Imposter Zombie costs 3, this 18 will turn into a 15. If you spend another 3, that 15 is going to turn into a 12. Okay? Since we have efficiency mod creatures down, Imposter Zombie is only going to cost 2. So when you make an Imposter Zombie, 18 is only going to go down to 16. But that's fine, because we're going to be getting a ton of creatures out anyway, and it's going to be about really draining their economy. So now onto the creatures. We have 4 creatures in the deck, and let's talk about why we chose them. Each one of these creatures is only going to provide 5 seconds back when they are killed, with exception to the dealer. The reason why we have the dealer is because the dealer goes with the theme of this deck, which is resources. The dealer is great at draining resources from the survivors. The dealer has this attack called the Claw Slash. And what that is that's when they're like, rah, 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 and then they jump on you and they start swatting at you, and they'll do up to 4 swipes. Each one of those swipes that connects reduces that survivor's umbrella credits by 10. So you can get 40 umbrella credits drained out of that survivor's economy with 1 full Claw Slash. And if you only get 1 swipe in, well, you're still taking away 10. So these things are great for draining their economy. And again, this whole build is an economy drainer. So imagine once they reach Area 3, they've been dealing with a ton of creatures that you're spawning because they're all super cheap. And they're also dealing with dealers jumping on them, taking credits away from them. So trust me, once they reach Area 3, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Let's talk about the last 3 cards in the deck. We got 2 sprays. We have Energy Leech, which goes with the theme of producing more bioenergy for Spencer, so his economy is in a good spot. And then for Infection, that also adds to the idea of draining economy from the survivors, because they have to keep up on their blue herbs, which makes them spend more. Or at the very least, it's going to put them in bad positions because they're going to start coughing. It might make them use up more green herbs because they're losing health from infection, etc., etc. And since they're coughing, you're going to get more opportunities for bites, which is going to improve your economy. The infection goodies keep on giving. And then for the final card here, we're going to run Lockdown Trap. Reason why I put Lockdown Trap in this deck is because of the way I play. I feel like the Lockdown Trap really complements the way I play creatures on doors. So many times I have gotten an easy trap detonation, so that's -5 seconds. And then since the door locks behind them, that's a free bite. And then on top of that, you can get a bunch of free swipes in. These Lockdown Traps are so good if you're really attuned to playing creatures on doors. So what I want to show you now is a match that we did on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. With this build, you're going to win a lot early. But in this particular match, this team did really well. So the reason why I'm going to show you this one is because this team dealt with what I was throwing at them very well, but then you're also going to get to see the effect of the super cores at the end of the game. You're going to see that at the end of the game, they just run out of juice. And because of that, they lose. The whole point of this build is your economy is better than theirs. And that's going to win you the vast majority of your games. You can counter this build. We've beaten it several times. on stream, but it's very hard to deal with, especially in solo queue when people don't really know what's going on. One thing that people might suggest, because I've gotten this suggestion while I've been streaming, is why don't you run lickers? That'll make it so you get more IVs out, and lickers are just crazy. I think lickers are not a good pick against a team that knows what they're doing. Lickers are kind of like dogs, where they're good at complimenting when you're already getting overwhelmed, but they are not good at overwhelming on their own. They're too easy to deal with a survivor that knows how to handle them. There's been several games that I've played against these Ivy Core Spencers, and they've had a licker in their deck, and the licker cost them the game. Like, easily cost them the game. They would have been much further ahead with a cheap creature that could get some bites in. So, personally, I don't recommend lickers against higher ranked players or players that know what they're doing, etc. That's a different story on a net, but for this Spencer here, lickers are just paperweights. Okay, so without further introduction, here is that match that we did on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. This is a good team comp, just in general. They don't have a big damage dealer, and I got big cores at the end of the game, so that could hurt them. And Amusement Park is a Mastermind favorite map. So the only way they're really going to beat me in Area 3 is if they're rolling me the entire match, which they could with this comp. But no Becca, no Sam is really good news for me. Buys me a lot of time.
I will undo this unjust travesty done to me by time, and I will rule over all mankind. You will need to explore to unlock this. Good luck.
I'll go on split skis, huh?
A locked door.
I will tear out your insides myself.
Just that back up, though. That was a good back. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. I'm splitting. What's Valerie doing? Is she baiting? Is that what she's doing? Is she just running all the way back to her spawn?
A child could have found that.
I don't get the moves here. They're working, though.
Checking.
Mindless existence elevated to purpose by my touch.
Here goes. Ecstatic.
No, I don't think I will allow
Counterattack working out for them.
Allow the fear to consume you. I am coming to get you.
Step on me, and they'll all be like,
All lesser creatures can benefit from my control. Go ahead, take it.
What would happen if you wanted to? Thanks.
I am coming to get you.
you saved me. I owe you my life.
This is only an appetizer for the coming tests. lesser creatures can benefit from my control.
Darn it, this is locked.
I'll let him have it.
We got this.
Not worth me pushing.
The exit's open!
A modest success for you. I would
Gonna go
not
to the
be
side
too
court,
pleased
Fragile.
with yourselves.
Don't do it. We'll save you.
Good, good.
Want to bait
The
them.
results are fascinating. Continue. Locked.
I'm gonna try to bait him over here. Only way this doesn't work is if they're watching me, which could be happening.
Mindless existence elevated to purpose by my touch.
Jan might be watching me.
Teach him to make jokes about my name.
Yeah, like this is gonna stop.
There's gotta be something useful here.
I will tear out your insides once. Let's do
Don't fuck with me.
Annoying. Doesn't matter.
I am coming to get you.
I might be able to see something.
Your heart
That sucks.
faster.
Okay, maybe it doesn't.
Savor the taste of stolen hope. I will tear out your insides myself. Thank you.
I want to get Val. I didn't get her though.
Take this key. There is more testing to be done.
Everyone feeling better?
Door.
All lesser creatures can benefit from my control.
If it's here,
These guys are pretty good, and they're also like not running into the ivies at all. I'm gonna let them have this one.
Open
Are
sesame.
you kidding me? I just got double eye.
I'll get through it.
Mindless existence elevated to purpose by my touch.
check this out.
It's a pretty good team. A lot of regular zombies. I would have loved an invulnerability anchor, but looks like I'm not getting one. They're not really getting poisoned either.
From my control.
Not a whole lot I can do to him here. It's a good team. I just gotta let him have it.
Your struggle is not unique. Oh, I do enjoy it.
Wait, how did? Oh, did she take it out from the other side? Yeah, these guys are really good against fire, or really good against IVs. They've been nailing me here. I should be draining the resources quite a bit by doing all this, though.
I will tear out your insides.
Oh, good kick. Yeah, this is a really good team. This is probably one of the better comp sets in the game, by the way. This right here, the only thing that really becomes a big problem for you is if you have a big, chunky thing in front of you, which is either a net and or these super cores. Burnett Flame Mine, yes he does, but they haven't been poisoned at all either. They've been really good.
Do not think you have achieved anything. I have more traps ahead.
I'm just gonna keep making them drain stuff, though.
Much longer. They will see to that.
Keep spending all your bullshit. I should have done that above them, though.
I'm coming to get you.
The idea is resource draining right now.
Elevated to purpose by my
Are you kidding me? This flamethrower that they got, though, man.
Fuck, where's my ammo? I don't like being watched.
It's fine. We got 3 big boy cores to go through here.
The reek of the undead fills the air, triggering. I will tear out your insides myself.
Check me. Get to me and I'll heal you.
It's fine.
Smart captor. It is futile, but amusing.
Zap!
You will not live much longer. They will see to
Where's
that.
Valerie going?
You cannot blind a god.
What is Valerie doing? Why is she running off on her own? That really f***ed me over.
You didn't think I would let you have this, did you?
Let's have a closer look. Could be worse, I guess. Hey, better luck next time.
Teach him to make jokes about my name. Locked.
I am coming to get you.
This is where the supercores come in.
What does it feel like when the virus struggles to control your final?
This is a resource drainer of a build. That's really all it is. Oh my god, get back into the game.
Ready for this?
There's gotta be something useful here. Check this out.
I think I got an Ivy in there. He ran into a freaking vulnerability anchor though. That sucked. Just right before I got to him.
Benefit from
I think I got 2 more cores to go through.
You have far to go yet.
Again, it's a resource drainer. It's the whole idea of the build.
That's the plan.
I'm gonna build up for a little bit. That'll help drain out our ult. Got a really lucky roll here. I haven't gotten invulnerability anchor yet. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, they're out of stuff. That's what that is right there.
Existence elevated to purpose by my touch.
That was smart of her to get that in there.
Thank you.
Oh, she picked herself up.
Nerd power.
Step on these and they'll all be like,
Yeah, they're not gonna make it through 3 cores. No chance.
Checking.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Val just used her ult too, so she's screwed. Where is she?
You're less than guinea pigs to me.
That's the thing with this build. You just try to like waste them in area 1 and area 2, and then in area 3 they're just out. They can't handle it
Fast
anymore.
as you could. But it wasn't fast enough now, was it?
That was a really good team, but there's no way that they were gonna bust through all 3 of those, especially without a damage dealer. Things that Val did that were really nice, where that she went off solo, so I had to pay attention to her in area 1, but then she just wasn't gonna go into the doorway. And she was far enough away that if I broke through the doorway, she could run away. So that was a smart move on her part. Also, towards the end of the game, she was like avoiding her team because she knew D-Field was coming. And she knows she's Valerie. So by avoiding her team, she knew that she was going to be able to pick people up. But part of what she did was she went ahead and she used her ult to try to force her way through that initial horde, which she needed to do because she did go down. And because of that, I knew I was going to be able to get a refract off on the rest of the team and she wouldn't be able to help. So once that happened, I was able to hunt her down, and that was the end of the game. So this was a match from twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. We stream there every single day. Link is in the description if you want to ever hang out, get to know people, get to talk to me. Let me know what this build did for you. Let me know what you think of this build. Let me know if it works for you. I've seen a lot of people run this type of build and lose. I've seen a lot of people run this type of build and it's like they can't lose. So it really depends on how you play it. It's up to you on if you want to make this build your own, if you want to use it just as it is, or if you want to modify it. This is what works for the way I play. So this is why I did what I did. But again, thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And then I'll see you in the next video or next Twitch live stream that we do around here.